Hello, my wonderful people. My name is Dasha Savage. I'm a psychologist and women's programs facilitator. And today we have another question. It's rather short, so here it is. Hi, Dasha. I am a very authoritarian mother, and in some situations, I am even a tyrant. At the same time, I know how I should and should not behave, but in the moment, some deep inner beliefs still take over, and I do not even feel guilty. I do not want to ruin my son's life. Could you please tell me what I need to work through, where I should look? I want to be a kind and loving mom, not a tyrant, but I do not know how to learn that. That is a very interesting question. Thank you very much for it. And there is already something very important in it. You understand how you want things to be, and that is really significant already, because it means that you have already done a lot of inner work. How I understand this? Because most people who act as tyrants, they would scream at their kids, they would even beat their children, and they're completely fine with that. And even more than that, they would blame kids for being bad, for being wrong. Very childish attitude, but unfortunately that's the reality. So the fact that you are sending this question to a psychological podcast already means that you are not one of those people, and a lot of inner work has already been done, I can tell. So at this point, where you notice you have certain deep beliefs and strategies coming up, most likely these are patterns that you observed when you were a child yourself, usually from significant adults around you. It can be parents, it can be caregivers, teachers, depends on your own experience. And these strategies at some point in life were probably used towards you. So in general, all these behavioral patterns, the patterns that come out from us in critical moments, critical situations, when we are extremely tired, when we are exhausted, when we have no resources, when we act on autopilot automatically. All these critical patterns come from from childhood, because a child grows in contact with adults, and everything about how they treat that child, everything they do with the child, everything they say, it gets recorded very, very deeply, almost at a subconscious level. And then later, even like 40 years later, it comes out in the situations that I mentioned earlier, just like auto mechanism. So this authoritarian quality that you have noticed in contact with your son, it's most likely extends not just to your son. I think probably you also, in your own life and your relationship with yourself, use the very same pattern. So if you look at where you are demanding to yourself, where are you tyrannical with yourself? Where are you beating yourself internally? Where are you over criticizing yourself? In what situations? When does it happen? So what sensations arise in you when you show this harshness to yourself? How do you feel in your body and emotionally? Because even that might be a very difficult challenge, to even notice your own feelings, your own sensations when you do that to you, because we're so used to doing it to ourselves that we don't even notice. But you see, at least you noticed it when you're doing it to someone else, in your case, your son. But probably you are doing it to you every single day and many, many times, but it's so natural to you that you don't even pay attention. So please start paying attention, because this authoritarianism from parents is essentially just one of those messages to the child that we absorb for the rest of our lives, that there are clear requirements for how things should be, how things should not be. And you are actually even mentioning it in your own question. So the parents send this message. There are rules. Do what is expected from you. If you are obedient, I will love you. If you're not, I will not love you. I give you attention. If you're good, I give you care. I give you everything else, but only if you follow the rules. So, and then the child will internalize this strategy. I must be obedient. I must do what I'm told. I must do things the right way. Then I will receive what I need so much. And a lot of people will grow to be people pleasers, and a lot of people will grow up to be tyrannical and harsh towards themselves, over controlling, never relax, be alert. So very, very damaging message from our parents. And again, obviously they did not intend it that way. You don't need to blame anyone. It's just the way it is. Unfortunately, life can be harsh for us, very sad. So in reality, you just need to remember that in reality, you and your son and every single person in this world, they are worthy of love and care simply because they exist. Not for following the rules, not for being good, just for existing. It's our default setting, being worthy of love. So that is why this need for softness is truly important here. Try to track. Try to, I don't know, even have a little maybe tracker if you're a very organized person, very logical person, very much in your head all the time. Softness tracker. Even that might be a crazy exercise. So, because if showing softness is a difficult task for you, there are definitely reasons behind it. And when you show this softness, what do you become then? When you are a person who is not a tyrant, who is this soft, non-controlling mom, what kind of person are you then? And very often for people who are used to living in harsh emotional fields, the softness is perceived as weakness. And weakness is not allowed because most likely, again, long ago maybe, there was an experience in your life when you were weak at some point and you were somehow punished for it, maybe somehow shamed for being too soft, too weak, or maybe you were hurt because of it. Like maybe your feelings were hurt when you were vulnerable and soft and weak through that. You were hurt. So in order not to feel this pain of weakness again, this being miserable, being hurt, suddenly you have to become harsh and you have to build armor around you and you have to be cool, over controlling, this dragon who has everything under control. So you have to follow the rules and this kind of pain will not happen again. And you're beating yourself so much, again, like I said, you don't even notice this anymore. So please look into that direction. What is there that doesn't let you be softer and express softness? Try to remember your childhood experience. When these strategies were directed at you, what did you feel then? Maybe try to recall several specific episodes. Maybe through meditation you can do that. So who were you in contact with at that time? Who transmitted this message to you? What did you want to do back then? What were you not allowed to do? So now, today, the question should be how you can begin to show this softness. I would recommend a little bit of somatic therapy, but I know that people who are probably like you, based on your question, you would probably hate the idea of body-oriented exercises, these like express love from like a chakra in your, usually people who are controlling, logical, they are very much against all the bodily practices and very much detached from their body. They're constantly in their mind, and anything, you will see some reels of some spiritual women doing some fire breathing, and people will mock them, ridicule them, because it feels crazy to be connecting to your body intentionally. So something, again, to look into. For you, I will recommend the simplest exercise, just to go to the mirror, put your hand, place your hand on your heart area, kind of in the middle of your chest, and just feel warmth that goes from your palm to your chest. If your hands are cold, rub them, like that, before, to feel warmth, and then place it on your chest. Just feel warmth. And then try to say something to you, kind of coming from that area, from that place of warmth. Say something nice to you. And try to say it like softer, with more tenderness in your voice, in your eyes, something nice towards yourself. Yeah, it is very important to do it slowly, without rushing anywhere. And just the first, show softness to yourself. Very gently, very slowly. Because when we speak harshly, we are, even if the words are nice, if we speak like harsh, it's not working. So specifically slow down, find this 1 minute in a day for yourself, look in the mirror with care, with being gentle, with softer voice, with warmth, and say something nice to yourself. Even that might be very difficult for a lot of people, but I'm telling you, it's like magic. If you do it consistently, that would have great benefits for you. And for the nearest month, I would exclude your sun from this equation whatsoever. So concentrate on yourself and on you being a tyrant to yourself, because this is the starting point. And from there, when you heal the relationship with yourself, everyone around will be affected on that. So try the different strategy. Try to be softer with yourself. It's important to express this. So don't just leave it as another piece of knowledge about what's right, what is wrong, because you already know what is right and is wrong. You just really need to implement it, and specifically on a physical body level. So I guess that is it. It's important to separate weakness from softness, because softness, love, and weakness, they are completely different things. They have nothing to do with each other. And actually, softness is power. Yes, softness is strength, and vulnerability is actually strength. So keep that in mind, and specifically to you, I would recommend doing it through the body, through the voice, through feeling the warmth at first. Because again, in your head, in your mind, you already know exactly what to do. So the problem is not there. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please check out the description of the podcast and send your questions to me. Thank you again, and I see you next time. Bye-bye.